సార్ వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదు.
ఆడియో మ్యూట్ చేయి. Why it is taking 10 elements for the first matrix and 8 elements only for second matrix?
ఏమో సార్, ఇందాక ఇన్పుట్ 1 by 1 ఇస్తే కరెక్ట్గానే తీసుకుంది సార్. మార్నింగ్ ఒకసారి రన్ చేశాను కూడా.
Am I audible? Yashwant?
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్.
Yashwant? హలో
హలో. సార్ హలో.
వినిపిస్తుందా?
వినిపిస్తుంది, వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
ఓకే. The program is working, but let me check this program also first and then tell you, so suggest you some changes for this program. You're getting wrong output. Hello?
హలో.
Output
ఐ థింక్
wrong
కరెక్టే
output.
అనుకుంటా. కరెక్టే అనుకుంటా సార్. డయాగ్నల్
How can
ఎలిమెంట్స్ వచ్చారు కదా సార్ 159కి.
no. This is not diagonal, right? This is a multiplication of matrices.
కానీ ఇన్పుట్ 1001 ఇలా ఇచ్చారు కదా.
Oh, no, that is an identity matrix. So when you multiply any matrix with an identity matrix, it should result in the first matrix, whatever first matrix we
సార్
have given as.
ఐడెంటిటీ అంటే అన్ని వన్స్ ఉండాలి కదా సార్.
This is multiplicative identity, man. It is not additive identity. Additive identity will have all ones. Multiplicative identity will have only diagonal elements as one.
సార్ 2 into 0 జీరోనే కదా సార్. ఇలా చూడండి
Uh,
సార్ 0 0.
See, when in matrix multiplication is different from matrix addition. You will not use the same logic that you use for addition of two matrices for multiplying two matrices. The logic is different for both of them.
ఓకే.
You perform same way as you do addition. Understand? Look at addition. You'll what is the first element in matrix 1? You'll add it with corresponding first element of matrix 2. So then you'll get the third matrix, the resulting matrix first element. Similarly, add 2, which is the second element in first row of first matrix, with 0, which is also the second element of first row of second matrix. Then the result will be of third matrix first row second element. So that is simple. Corresponding elements will be added. But matrix multiplication is different. We are not going to multiply only corresponding elements of matrix. So in matrix multiplication, you have to take the entire first row of first matrix and multiply it with the corresponding elements of first column of second matrix, not row.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
One must be multiplied with 1,
1.
and the resulting sum must be added to 2 multiplied with 0. Then you'll get some sum. So that must be added again with 3 multiplied with 0. So you'll get 1 plus 2 into 0 0, 1 into 1 1, plus 2 into 0 0, plus 3 into 0 0. So you'll get the first element as 1. Then again you have to repeat the operation with the second column of the second matrix. 1 into 0 0, plus 2 into 1 2, plus 3 into 0 0. So you'll get again 2. Well, again you have to repeat the same topic 1 1 2 3, multiplying it with corresponding elements of third column. 1 into 0 0, 0 0, 3 into 1 3, right? So all these 3 must be added, then you'll get result. So that is how you need to do matrix multiplication.
నేను డైరెక్ట్గా కరెస్పాండింగ్స్లో చేసేసాను, అయితే తప్పుంది సార్ కోడ్.
You have a of ij, example a11 ఉందనుకో, ఫస్ట్ రోలో a12, a13, ఇవి ఫస్ట్ రో 3 ఎలిమెంట్స్ అనుకోండి. తర్వాత a21, a22, a23 second row elements. Then a31, a32, a33. These are the elements of first matrix అనుకోండి. Then second matrix b11, b12, b13. Only b21, b22, b23. B31, B32, B33. So if these are the elements of two matrices, then matrix multiplication will be done as A11 into A11, right, plus A12 into, this is not A11, this is B11, A12 into B21 plus A13 into B31. So this will be the first element of the third resulting matrix. Okay, then again you have to do multiplication of these three elements of first row of first matrix with the second row B12, like that. A11 into B12 plus A12 to B22 plus A13 into B32. So this will be the second element. Then finally you will have A11 into B13 plus A12 into B23 plus A13 into B33. So this will be resulting in the first row resulting matrix first row, three elements. Then again you have to repeat this with second row with all the columns of second matrix the same way. Then again third row with all the columns of second matrix. So in that way you have to repeat this step for all the three rows. Once with first row of first matrix multiplied with the corresponding elements of first column, second column and third column. Similarly, again you have to repeat the same operation for second row of first matrix with first column, second column and third column of the second matrix. Again, repeat the same with third row of first matrix with first column, second column and third column. So this is a complex logic. It is not as simple as matrix multiplication is. We have to multiply it in a different way. The logic is different. I don't know whether you have done it in the same way in when you learned C language or not. If you have remembered, the logic must be different. You have done it in C language. So let me give you that logic. And before giving you that logic, let me also explain you how to write addition and multiplication programs in an efficient way. So when you are writing a program this way, see there are some restrictions in matrix operations. How can when you can multiply or when you can add two matrices in mathematics? So for addition of two matrices, the rules will be like number of rows and columns of two matrices must be same. Okay? Only when the rows and columns, number of rows and columns of the two matrices are same, then only you can perform addition of two matrices. Otherwise, you cannot perform. If first matrix has is a 3 by 3 matrix and second matrix is a 2 by 2 matrix, you cannot perform addition. Similarly, if the first matrix is 3 by 3 and second matrix is 3 by 2, then also you cannot perform matrix addition. So exactly the number of rows of first matrix must be equal to number of rows of second matrix, and number of columns of first matrix must also be equal to the number of columns of second matrix. Only then you can perform matrix addition. Similarly, for matrix multiplication, so for matrix multiplication also you have a different logic as well as a different rule also when compared with so the rule is number of rows of first matrix, number of columns. Number of columns of first matrix must be equal to number of rows of second matrix. If only when this condition is satisfied, you can multiply two matrices. So that means if matrix A uh, is like this, say for example, it is a 2 by 3 matrix, and matrix B is 3 by 2 matrix. Now you can perform because number of columns of first matrix is equal to number of rows of second matrix. Then you can perform matrix multiplication. And we are not concerned with number of rows of first matrix and number of columns of second matrix. They need not be same. Okay? Only number of columns of first matrix must be same as number of rows of second matrix. First column lo first matrix lo columns, second matrix lo rows. They must be same. That is the only condition, necessary condition for multiplying two matrices. Okay. So keeping in this mind, we need to write a program in Java or in any programming language in such a way that your program performs multiplication or addition operation only when this condition is satisfied. First, you must ask the user to enter the number of rows and columns of first matrix. Then he must give some input as 2 by 3 or 3 by 2, whatever it is. Then, after giving that, you need to store those two number of rows and column values in two different variables. And then you must prompt the user to enter again the number of rows and columns of second matrix. Then you must store these two values also in another two variables. Say now let us assume that m and m by n is nothing but the number of rows and columns of first matrix. P by q means p and q are number of rows and columns of second matrix. Then for addition, condition is p must be equal to m must be equal to p and n must be equal to q. This is the condition for addition. For multiplication, the condition will be like n must be equal to, it is the only condition. So by following this condition, you need to write the program. So when the user enters m value, n value, p value, and q value, you must check whether if it is for addition, if he wants to perform addition operation, then you have to check whether m is equal to p or not. If it is equal, then you need to also check whether n is equal to q also or not. If only both m and p are equal and n and q are equal, then only you need to perform the addition. Until then, you need not read the matrix values also. It is waste of reading the matrix values if m value and n value are not equal and p value and q value are not equal, right? Similarly, in matrix multiplication also, you have to check whether n is equal to p or not. If it is equal, then only you must ask the user to enter the elements of the two matrices. Otherwise, it is not required to ask them to enter the two matrices, because even if they enter also, we cannot perform the multiplication or even addition also if the condition is not satisfied. So then what you need to do is you need to inform the user or serve the user about a message that because both rows and columns and of both the matrices are not same, you cannot perform matrix addition. Similarly, if it is for multiplication, the number of columns of first matrix is not equal to the number of rows of second matrix, so you cannot perform matrix multiplication. So this is the alert message that you need to give to the user if the user is not satisfying not giving the input by satisfying these conditions. Okay, so that is how you need to write the program. So, and you can combine these two programs into a single thing and define a class and define two methods, one for addition and one for multiplication. And you can write a menu driven program. So that I'll give you as task for tomorrow's class. But today, let me explain you uh, how to write the logic for addition program and how to write the logic for multiplication program. I'll modify these programs and rewrite the program. Okay.
Sir, screen recording is started, no, sir.
Live పెట్టాను.
Huh. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You can access it in YouTube. Direct YouTube లో అప్లోడ్ అయిపోతుంది.
Okay,
ఆల్రెడీ
sir.
లింక్ షేర్ చేశాను గ్రూప్ లో, వాట్సాప్ లో. యూ కెన్ చెక్ ఇట్. So I'll completely modify this matrix. So let us take instead of 3 3 5 5, so that we can uh, explore with different number of rows and columns. Even though we give the size of the matrix as 5 5 uh, in declaration, you need not exactly give the same 5 by 5 matrix. You can give 3 by 3, 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 4 by 4, 5 by 5 also. So to explore with different kinds of input, let me take this size as 5, and let us not even take more than 5 also, because the program will become complex to understand. So for simplicity and for understanding sake, let us not go beyond 5 rows and 5 columns for these three matrices. So after doing this is okay. Till here you can just get an object for scanner class. That is okay. But here we need to serve a message to the user to enter the number of rows and columns of first matrix. Okay. Then after this, you can have two variables m and n. So first I'll take m, and using the scanner object, I'll call nextInt method. So this will read the number of rows and store it in m. Then I'll declare n. So this will read the number of columns and store it in n. Okay. So after this, we'll serve the message again to enter the number of rows and columns of second matrix. Let me copy paste this and edit variable names. So let us make this P and Q. So now M and N are number of rows and columns of first matrix respectively, and P and Q are a number of rows and columns of second matrix respectively. So what is the condition for matrix addition? It is like M must be equal to P and N must be equal to Q. So now let me put a comment here, check whether M is equal to P and N is equal to Q. So you need to write an if statement. If M is equal to P and ampersand, double ampersand, logical operator, N is equal to Q. Okay. Then you need to write this logic for enter the values of first matrix and enter the values of second matrix inside the if block. So let me put this here. Because I kept a if block opened here, so I'll close it after displaying this matrix here. So I need to add one more brace here. So this is the closing of if block. Okay. So when you will execute all this piece of code that is part of this if block, only when the condition is satisfied, then only we need to execute this piece of code. Otherwise, you need not execute this one, right? So after the if block is closed, I'll put a message here. I'll put another block here, else block. So in the else block, what I can do is system dot out dot println addition can't be performed, or you cannot, or you can simply display number of rows and columns of both the matrix, both the matrices is not same. This message you can serve to the user if the condition is not satisfied. The else block. In the if block, you can write the code as it is, but instead of 3 here, taking 3 here, the number of rows of first matrix is m, so you give m here, and number of columns of first matrix is n, so give n here. Then after that, for the second matrix, number of rows of second matrix is p, and number of columns of second matrix is q, so you need to give q here. Then here also, after performing addition, the resulting matrix will be m by n or p by q, because both m by n and p by q are same. So you can choose anything, rows as m or p and columns as n or q. So I'll choose m n. Because we'll execute this part only when m is equal to p and n is equal to q. So you can take number of rows and columns as this one, m for the resulting matrix and n for the resulting matrix. Number of columns as n, number of rows as m. Okay. Then you can also display it using the same m or n and p or q. Anything you can say. either Mn or Pq. Now let me compile this program once again after making the changes. Now I'll give 3 and 3. For second matrix, I'll give 2 and 2. Then what is it saying? It is not asking me to enter the matrices, right? So what is it serving? Number of rows and columns of both the matrices is not same అని చెప్పింది, right? So only when I give same values, that is same rows and number of rows and columns of both the matrices, then only it will ask you to enter the elements of first matrix and second matrix. So let me execute once again. This time I'll give 3, 3, 3. Now it is asking me to enter values of first matrix. So now I'll give 1, 2, 3 first row, 4, 5, 6 in second row, 7, 8 and 9 in third row. So what is the identity matrix for matrix addition? It is zero matrix, right? Zeros, all zeros. So if you add zeros, you'll get the same matrix. So sum of two matrices is same. So if you observe the first matrix, whatever you give, when you add it with this additive identity matrix, you will get the same result. So once again, I'll do this. This time I'll give a 4 by 4 matrix. If I give now 3 by 3, now also it will tell me number of rows and columns are not same. Okay. So now I'll run it again and give 4, 4, 4. So now it will ask me for entering the first matrix. We give 1, 2, 3. Again 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all the rows have same elements. I'll give now 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So now for each and every element of the first matrix, 1 will be added. So all these first column elements will become 2's. So you will get 2's, right? And second column elements, because they have all 2's, when you add 1's for all the elements, they will become 3's. For the third column elements, because you have added 1, they are already 3. So 3 plus 1 will become 4. Fourth column elements are 4, and when you add 1, they will become 5. Okay. So this is how you need to perform matrix addition. So when you write a program, always remember that your program must work in every condition. It should not work only if the user gives input in a proper way or a one way. So user may be thinking in different ways, and he'll give input to test the program that you have written. So as a software programmer or engineer, your responsibility is to write your program in such a way that if the user doesn't give the input in a proper way, it must slap him. It must ask him, request him to give the input in a proper way. Only then your program must generate the output. Otherwise, it should not generate. Okay, so then only we call your program that you developed as a efficient program. If it is not working in a proper way, then how can we call it in an efficient way? Earlier we were giving 3 by 3 matrices, right? And we didn't bother about whether the number of rows and columns of first matrix are equal to number of rows and columns of second matrix or not. So without doing that, if you write a program, then The user will give the number of rows and columns of first matrix as 4 by 4 and second matrix as 3 by 3, and your program will perform addition of those elements and display the output. The user will think it is not working properly. Program, it should not actually perform addition if I give different rows and columns for two matrices, but it is performing, so this program is not an efficient program. So that is the kind of impression the user will get after using your program. So you should not write a program in that way. You should write a program in such a way that it should address each and every problem that is associated with this concept of matrix addition. Similarly, when coming to matrix multiplication also, you need to do the same. See, let me change this to 5, 5. And if you want, we can give another alert message also, uh, that the user is limited to give the rows and column size only a maximum of up to 5. Because if it tries to give more than 5 rows and 5 columns, the program will not work because you have created the arrays with size 5, 5 and 5 by 5 only, right? So that's why you can also alert the user to enter the number of rows and columns uh, either equal, less than or equal to 5. So that also you can serve to the user. So then the user will understand I can give only up to this one. Okay. Or dynamically, you can also do one more thing. Instead of declaring this arrays as 5, 5, 5, 5 like this in a predefined manner, you can you can ask the user to enter the number of rows and columns of first matrix and read that value and put that value as the size of the matrix for declaration. And that way also you can write. Take that as a task for you for tomorrow's class. Okay. So I'll explain you how to write that program after completing this matrix multiplication. Then you can do it for tomorrow. Now, what is that I did in the previous matrix? I'll copy paste to avoid loss of time on these values. Enter the number of rows and columns of first matrix. This is what we need to give here. The number of rows and columns of first matrix. Then enter the number of rows and columns of second matrix. And even we can copy this one also, right? Let me copy paste the entire thing and then declare. No need to write the statements again. Okay. So here also you have mn pq. Then what is the condition you need to put here? If n is equal to p. This is the condition that we need to apply. Let me put it here. Okay, number of columns of first matrix and number of rows of the second matrix is not same. So you cannot perform matrix multiplication. So this is the alert that we need to serve to the user if he violates this rule for matrix columns and rows of the two matrices. Okay. So now here also let me change this m and this one to n. With this one m, this is p, number of rows of second matrix, and this is q, number of columns of second matrix. Then the resulting matrix, what it will have is, after performing multiplication of two matrices, the resulting matrix will have m by q rows and columns. It will be a m by q matrix. Where the first matrix is m by n and second matrix is e by q, then the resulting matrix after multiplication will have m by q rows and columns. So you need to give m by q here, and additionally you need to take one more for loop here. K is equal to 0, k less than either n or p, you can give k plus plus, and after the first to give c of ij is equal to 0. What is the third matrix you have created? It is null. Okay. Then you have to give null here. So this will be null of ij is equal to null of ij plus first of ik into second of kj. So this is the logic which will perform the matrix multiplication. This is the logic. You must use 3 for loops. First for loop reflecting the number of rows of the resulting matrix. The resulting matrix will have number of rows m. And second for loop condition must be reflecting the number of columns of second matrix, the resulting matrix. So the resulting matrix will have q columns. So that's why j less than q. Then after that, for every iteration, before you start k third for loop iteration, you need to initialize null of ij to 0. Then use another third for loop. So this is the complexity involved in multiplication. Let me run this program and show you the output first. Then explanation will take very long time. I think it will be better for you to analyze this explanation and understand. As you know the logic behind matrix multiplication. If you just apply some input values for this program, then you can understand this logic. We're getting some errors where we missed semicolon. We start of type else 58. For example, I'll give first matrix rows and columns as 3 by 2. Now the condition for second matrix is the number of rows of second matrix must be 2 only. Then only it will accept for multiplication. So if I give 3 here, will it accept? It will not accept. Number of columns of first matrix, number of rows of second matrix is not same. Okay, so that's why it is not accepting. So let us try it with more. So I'll give 3 by 3, 2 by 3. Now also it should not accept. Okay. Even if you give same 3 by 3, 3 by 3, also it should accept because the number of columns of first matrix, number of rows of second matrix are equal. So it will accept it. Now let me give the values 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And multiplicative identity is 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. What to give? I gave wrong. So we will get a different value. We run it again. Audio. Zero one zero 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 one. Now you must get the output same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So the multiplication of two matrix result is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Understood?
Hello. Sir. Can you explain me once again the code which we have changed only for the multiplication part?
You want this logic or
Hmm.
the entire program?
Yeah, this logic is enough for me.
That is what I'm. This logic will take a very long time for explanation because I need to take an example. Uh, whatever output input we have given here, 1 to 1 to 3, 3 by 3, all these things, you have to write it on paper. So that is the task I'm giving it to you.
Okay, sir,
Okay.
I will do that.
Yeah, the task is for you is first thing is on a notebook. Uh, Try to implement this logic. Only just take the logic. Okay. So you take the matrix, two matrices. The two matrices contain. Okay, the first matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the second matrix is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Right? So you take this, you write it in your notebook. First matrix is like just like you do in mathematics, right? So you take the two matrices as A and B, whatever name you have given, and write the mn values. M value is 3, n value is 3, p value is 3, q value is 3. Right? So after doing this, so take the I values. I value is initially 0 when you start the iteration. J value is also 0. K value is also 0. And then now you apply this logic. First, you will enter into the outer for loop for I equal to 0. So I value will be 0 now initially in the first iteration, right? Then the condition is I less than m. So I is 0, m value is 3. So 0 less than 3 condition is true, right? 0 less than 3 is true. So what you will do, you will enter into the loop. So what is the next first statement in the loop? Again, there is another for loop. So here what will happen? J value will become initialized to 0 and condition is j less than q, right? So that means 0 less than. So this is also true. So because this is true, then you'll enter into inner for loop and perform this. So when you perform this, what will happen? Mul of 0, I value 0, j value 0. So substitute I, j values. I value 0, j value 0. So now this will be initialized to 0 and mul of 0, 0 will be initialized to 0. Then after that you'll enter into this for loop again. K value becomes 0, right? And condition is k less than n. That means 0, k value is 0 less than n value is also 3. So this is also true. So when this is true, then again you'll enter into this for loop and perform this operation. So what you'll do, ij, mul of ij is nothing but this one. So this is 0 is equal to, again mul of ij, that means 0. So 0 plus first of ik, I value 0, k value 0, k value 0, j value is 0. So substitute ik, j values in these two and take those corresponding values from the two matrices and perform this operation. First of 0 0 into second of 0 0, multiply them and add them to mul of ij, right? So after performing this, you will come and increment the value of k, the inner for loop. Initially k was 0, now you will increment the k value to 1. So when k becomes 1, again perform this operation, right? So after performing this operation, again go and increment the k value of k value. K will become 2. 2 less than and 3 is true. So again repeat the same operation. Then again go and increment k. When then now k will become 3. 3 less than 3 is false. So you will come out of this for loop. Now you will go and increment the j value now. J value will become 1. So now I is 0, j will become 1 and this will be again initialized to 0, that is I0 J1 mul of I01 will be initialized to 0. Earlier it was 0 0. So we have completed calculating 0 0. Now we'll come to 0 1. So again repeat this k loop for 3 times. After that again you will go and increment j value. J will become 2 again. So condition will be 2 again. So mul of 0 2 this time. So this will repeat for how many times? If the matrix is having 3 rows and 3 columns in the first one and 3 rows and 3 columns in the second one, then this repetition will take how many iterations this inner loop will take means 3 into 3 into 3, 27 times this will be repeated and finally you will get the 9 elements of the matrix. So if I have to explain it, it will take at least from half an hour to 45 minutes or even more than that also. So that's why it is better for you to substitute these values in the iteration. So you know how the loops will be executed, right? For loops and while loops will be executed. So based on that logic, you substitute these values and get the output. So whether it is being implemented in proper way or not, you check it. That is a task for you. And after checking this one, the next task is, instead of writing these two programs, multiplication and addition in two different programs, you write it in a single program. You combine them, you merge them in such a way that you define two classes, one class for addition, another class for multiplication. In addition class, you create two arrays there, like A and B, first matrix and second matrix, and then a method there to read the elements of the two matrices. two methods you need to define. One for reading matrix elements, another for reading computing the addition of two matrices. Okay. So the read matrix must ask you to enter the number of rows and columns of first matrix, and then ask you to enter the first matrix elements, and similarly number of rows and columns of second matrix, and also enter the elements of second matrix also. Then the another matrix, compute or whatever it is, add matrix, you define another method. That matrix must perform matrix addition and display the result. Similarly, another class you define it as multiplication. For multiplication, there also you create those two arrays and two methods, one for reading the matrix elements and the other one for reading the performing the matrix multiplication. And then in another class, third class, you define the main method and create objects for both the classes, for addition class and for multiplication class. Using those objects, you try to call the methods, respective methods, so that reading of elements and then computation of addition and multiplication can be done. So in that way, using the classes, multiple classes, because in this program we have not used multiple classes, we have just used one class and written the logic in the main method, right? So now I want you to write it using multiple classes and creating objects for those classes and calling those methods, so that whenever you call the method, that particular operation will be performed. So use our object-oriented programming concepts, creating class. Okay. So this is the task for you for tomorrow. So this will further enhance your skills if you are able to complete this program and write the program in a diverse manner, including this putting this multiplication logic aside, how to use the class and methods concepts and object concept, that also will be uh, merged into the single program. So all the topics that you have covered so far will be again coming into picture now, along with this matrix multiplication logics and all. So that is what I want you to learn. That is how I want you to learn. Understood, Yashwant?
Okay, sir.
Task, and it will be a difficult task for you. So by putting more effort. So I sent you the YouTube link. If you want, you can go through this link. And I'm not going to send these programs for you, because if I send you, what will happen is you'll try to copy paste it. I don't want you to copy paste it. I want you to write the program on your own, and that is how you can learn programming better. If you do some copy pasting, then you'll not learn the program. As a learner, you'll not learn it well. So don't try to copy paste it from somewhere else, even from my program. When you write the program, then you'll feel it and you'll understand why I'm writing this one. If you copy paste it, you'll not understand it, why you're writing this one. So you must realize why you are writing the code and what purpose you are writing the code, right? That's why I'm not going to send you this one. But if you want to refer to the program, you can watch the YouTube video and refer and have a reference of it. But I'll not allow you to copy paste it. So if you are watching it in YouTube, you'll not be able to copy paste it, right? So I'm not going to send this program. That's why I didn't send yesterday's program also. So now you do it. You must be able to watch the video, but you must not be able to copy paste it from somewhere. ఏదో ఒక వెబ్సైట్ లో లాజిక్ చూసి దాన్ని కాపీ చేసి ఇక్కడ పేస్ట్ చేసుకొని అట్లా రాయొద్దు ప్రోగ్రామ్. రైట్ ద లాజిక్ ఆన్ యువర్ ఓన్, రైట్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆన్ యువర్ ఓన్. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఐ వాంట్ యూ. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్. సార్ ఒక డౌట్ ఉంది ఆ కింద మల్టిప్లికేషన్ లాజిక్ దగ్గర. ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదా సార్, ఫస్ట్ ఐ ఆఫ్ కే అని ఉంది కదా సార్, ఇది నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు.
ఇది మనం ఎక్స్ట్రా తీసుకుంటున్నాం టు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ దట్ లాజిక్. ఇందాక మాట్రిక్స్ మల్టిప్లికేషన్ ఎలా చేస్తామో చెప్పాను కదా, నార్మల్ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ లో మ్యాట్రిక్స్ మల్టిప్లికేషన్, దాన్ని టు మేక్ దట్ పాసిబుల్ వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ ఎన్ ఎక్స్ట్రా ఫర్ లూప్.
Okay, first, my dot is like first of I of k. I denotes here for the 0 and k denotes for the initial value. I denotes for 0 and k denotes for 0. We will take the first of 0 value. That's it, right?
Hmm.
అంతే కదా సార్ లాజిక్.
నీకు
k
ఇంత ముందు ఇక్కడ చూపించా చూడు ప్రోగ్రామ్. నీకు నువ్వు ఎట్లా మల్టిప్లై చేస్తున్నావు? ఫస్ట్ రో ఫస్ట్ కాలమ్ ఎలిమెంట్ A11 మల్టిప్లైడ్ విత్ B1. ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది? ఇక్కడ 1 1 ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఐజే, and here 1 1 is nothing but ij, right? So in this case, I'm taking the second this one as k, and first one this one as k. So in the first case, when you are multiplying these two elements, I value, j value, k value, all these values will be same. So they are 1 1 1 1 1. That's the reason why in the first iteration you will have I value 0, j value 0, k value 0. What you're doing, you're substituting in here I0, J0, and here also I0, K0, K0, J0. So you are multiplying what? First of 0 0 into second of 0 0. So that is what we want here. First of 1 1 into second of 1 1. Instead of 0 starting from index 0 0, we are starting with 1 1 here in normal mathematics. But in programming, we'll start with index 0 0, right? So that's why 0 0 is taken. And that must be added with what? A of 1 2 into B of 2 1. And again, the result must be added with A of 1 3 into B of 3 1. So that addition part we'll be doing. First, initially, we'll add first of 0 0 into second of 0 0 with a dummy element 0, right? Then in the next iteration, the k value will change. K value will become 1. Then I and j values will remain same, and this also will remain same. Earlier this will have some value. After performing first iteration, null of ij will become some x or something, right? So that x plus, so that x is nothing but this one, that will become this one. A of 1 1 into B of 1 1 will become x, and for that you need to add again what? A of 1 2 into B of 2 1, right? So that will be performed in the second iteration when k value is 1. That is first of 0 1 into second of 1 0, and that will be added to this x here. So now after adding x with this first of 0 1 and into second of 1 0, that will x value will change to some y, and in the next iteration k value will become 2. Then you will add y and multiply first of 0 2 into second of 2 0, and then add it to y, then it will become z. So that will be the total first element. So 3 times you need to perform addition operation between these 3 elements. So that's the reason why I'm taking this null of ij first, and I'm initializing it to 0 first, and then performing multiplication between first row first element and second first row's first element of second matrix. Then after that, first row first row second element of first matrix with the second matrix second element of first column. Then again third element of first row of first matrix with the third element of first row of uh, second matrix. And then I have to add all those elements and store it in somewhere, right? So that is the reason why I took this logic. If you do this, if you perform whatever I said, పేపర్ మీద పెట్టుకొని రాసుకొని ఇదంతా చేస్తే అప్పుడు నీకే అర్థమవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పినా నీకు పూర్తిగా అర్థం కాదు, అందుకే అంత కాంప్లెక్స్ ఉంటుంది లాజిక్. నువ్వు పేపర్ మీద సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తే అర్థమైందా? ఐ వాల్యూ 0, జే వాల్యూ 0, ఈచ్ ఇటరేషన్ కి నువ్వు ఐ వాల్యూ, జే వాల్యూ, కే వాల్యూ రాసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి ప్రతి ఇటరేషన్.
ఓకే సార్.
రాసుకుంటూ వెళ్తే నీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. ఆ లాజిక్ అంతా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకుంటే, సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ చేసుకుని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తుంటే, దెన్ యూ ఓన్లీ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద లాజిక్ బిహైండ్ ఇట్. నేను ఎంత చెప్పినా కూడా నీకు కాంప్లెక్స్ గా ఉంటుంది. ఐ నాట్ బి ఏబుల్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఎ ప్రాపర్ వే. ఓకే
ఓకే సార్.
అలా చేసిన తర్వాత నీకు రేపు ఇంకా అప్పటికి డౌట్ ఉంటే అప్పుడు నన్ను అడుగు, నేను చెప్తా.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
అర్థమవుతుందా? ఆ లాజిక్ అంతా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకుంటే చేసుకుని వెళ్తుంటే దెన్ యూ ఓన్లీ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద లాజిక్ బిహైండ్. నేను ఎంత చెప్పినా కూడా నీకు you only will understand what is the logic behind it. చెప్పినా కూడా నీకు you only will understand. యూట్యూబ్ లైవ్ చేసా మొత్తం నీకు లాంగ్వేజ్ ఇక్కడ అట్లా వస్తుంది లేదు అది పెట్టుకుంటే బాగానే వస్తుంది. పబ్లిక్ పెట్టాను కానీ తర్వాత కావాలంటే వాళ్ళు నోటిఫికేషన్ వస్తే చూసుకోవచ్చు, వాళ్ళ తర్వాత అయినా చూసుకోవచ్చు.
లేచాను కానీ ఉపయోగం లేకుండా పోయింది.